So, with the 31st overall pick, Marc Bergevin and the Montreal Canadiens, one of the oldest and most respected franchises in the NHL, selected Logan Mayo, who withdrew from the draft after an incident involving a girl. They were both 17 at the time, um, where they engaged in sexual activities. And he took pictures without her consent and sent them to his teammates. And after this came out, of course, he apologized because, you know, he was found out. Um, so, in his apology, he asked to not be drafted. And Marc Bergevin decided that he would draft him anyways. So this is his statement on how he feels, and let's just take a listen because I don't like it. So just take a listen.
By drafting prospect Logan Mailloux with the 31st overall pick, the Montreal Canadiens organization not only selected a promising hockey player, but also a young man who recently admitted making a serious mistake. The Canadiens.
So he admitted to it after he had been brought upon criminal charges. Anyways.
Situation and by no means minimize the severity of Logan's action. His recent public statement is a genuine acknowledgement of his poor behavior and the first step on his personal journey. We are making a commitment to accompany Logan on his journey by providing him with the tools to mature and the necessary support to guide him in his development. Thank you, merci, et vos questions, s'il vous plaît.
What steps can you take as an organization to bring them along in that journey that we're talking about?
Well, we will work closely with him, give him the support he needs to, and I know he's been remorseful about the incident, which we truly don't agree with it in all sense of the word, but he needs, he's a young man who made a serious mistake in judgment, and we really have to work with him, and we did talk to him, and he's fully aware of that, and we're very remorseful. So that is a big step.
Listen, I just gotta ask it. There's a lot of tons of women who love your team and your organization, and who follow the team who have to feel somewhat disappointed in what happens. And you have something to say to them in terms of why you decided to make this selection.
Well, we understand, and we're fully aware, and we, as an organization, it's very unacceptable. But also, it's a young man that made a terrible mistake. That, as a young, like again, he's 17 years old, and he's willing and understand and remorseful that, and he has a lot of work to do. But he already started to put it behind him and have a hockey career.
What did he say to you to convince you to take this step? I mean, he had to have shown something or said something that made you believe that this is a step worth taking. Then.
Yes, it's a good question. To be able to be sincere, remorseful, apologetic to the family that what we did was a terrible mistake, and it's not something that will ever happen again. Obviously, it's something that we do believe, and we're going to work with him that will never happen again.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here with a deal from Mint Mobile.
Alright, so there's a couple things with that statement. He talks about how he's remorseful. Obviously. Obviously he'd be remorseful for doing that. But it doesn't change the fact that he did it and showed images of this girl doing what happened between the two of them. privately and shared it around. And by drafting him in the first round, in a draft that he said, don't draft me in. And let's not forget that there's a criminal charge against him in Sweden. But you drafted him in the first round despite everything that he did, and basically told the victim that there's no consequences. This is just ridiculous, and I am at a loss for words of how I feel about what he did, because it's just not right. You don't take criminals in, and this isn't something that happened years ago. This literally just happened. It's just weird. And I also found out today that the 2010 Chicago team with the sexual assault allegations, Bergevin was a part of that team, and might have been one of the people that knew about it and didn't say anything about it. So, my opinion on Marc Bergevin has changed drastically within the past 24 hours. This is just a serious issue that I don't want to overlook, and I wanted to take a minute to discuss it and look at Bergevin's response. I think it was handled very professionally. That doesn't necessarily mean it was handled the right way. But yeah. So, anyways, that's all I've got. Yeah. What do you think? I guess that's all I can add is asking what you think of this, because I got nothing else. Have a good night.